Hi guys, it's Jessie here from Black Hats and Cards, and I'm just sitting here with my coffee and my vegan coffee cake, and I thought that I would film my dark themed Oracle deck collection since I know that I need to upload that soon. So let's just get into it. The first deck that I'm going to show is the Moonology Oracle deck, and this one I put in this category because the colors are darker. I'm not saying that this deck is like a spooky deck at all. It's just got darker colors in it. So each card is it'll tell you whether it is like a full moon or a new moon. There's full and new, and then it has a little saying here. There's also like third quarter moon, new moon eclipse, fixed moon, south node. So I really like using this deck when I'm doing moon readings, like my new moon energy readings or my full moon energy readings. Just having the card, so say it was a full moon in Capricorn reading that I was doing, I would just place this at the center of the reading to just as a reminder kind of thing. And sometimes if I want moon guidance, I will pull cards from this deck for myself. So that is the first one. The second one that I have here is the Earthbound Oracle, I believe it's called. I just have it in this little like burlap bag. It's falling apart. I need to find a new home for this. But it just looks like this. It's very small. So it's a very small deck. It's quite bent from me shuffling it all the time. But it is by the same creator as the Wooden Tarot. So you'll see the style is a little bit similar. And then the cards just look like this. So beautiful artwork. Beautiful to work with the Wooden Tarot, obviously. It's because the art is so similar. They flow beautifully together. They read beautifully together. So yeah, that is the Earthbound Oracle. Yeah, this bag is falling apart really badly. I need to find a new little bag for that guy. Next is the Czech Oracle. This one I do pull out if I'm doing like inner child work, or sometimes I'll pull it out if I'm doing shadow work. Goes really well with the Czech Tarot, of course, same artist. Ooh, throwing cards already. So the cards just look like this. Same art style. That same kind of like childlike innocence portrayed in the cards. I do really like the art. I do really like the art style. It is a little bit jarring sometimes seeing the imagery and then seeing how childlike they look. But that is part of the reason why I find it is so good for inner child work. So definitely a go-to deck for that kind of thing. Not one that I pull out super often though. Some people do find it a little bit more of a disturbing deck. But that is that, and the backs are gorgeous. And it is glossy. I think the Moonology one that I showed is a matte finish. And the Earthbound Oracle is more of a gloss finish. I'll try to remember to say from now on. Moving on, This is a deck that I do not use really hardly ever. This is the Angelarium Oracle of Emanations. I had really high hopes for this deck and high hopes for how I would work with it, and it kind of fell flat for me. So these are the backs. And then the cards look like this. They have the name on it and then what they are. The artwork is gorgeous, but I just don't find myself really connecting with it. I do hope to give it another try and see if I can find a way to connect with it, but if I can't, this will probably be a deck that I end up getting rid of. Either sell it or gift it to someone or trade it. Yeah, just not a deep connection for me. Let me know in the comments if you have this deck, and this one is glossy. Sorry, I literally just said that I was gonna tell you guys. Let me know in the comments though if you guys connect with this deck and how you find it. I'd love to hear. Okay, next up is actually the first Oracle deck that I ever purchased, and this is the Myths and Mermaids deck. So these are the backs. This is a glossy deck, and this is also quite a large deck. So like they are the size of my hands, so they're quite hard to shuffle sometimes. And then the fronts of the cards look like this. They have their little name, they have a little symbol on them, and then the symbol will either be blue like this one or black like this one. And you can actually use these cards to read yes or no questions. So I thought that was really neat. I don't pull this one out super often, but I think maybe I should start pulling it out again because I do enjoy working with this. The imagery does kind of have that little bit of like a spookier feel, I guess. Artwork is not going to be for everybody, but I really like it. It's the big eyes. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like Angelina Rona paintings. I have a couple of her prints hung on my wall and I want more, but yeah, that is the Myths and Mermaids deck. My first Oracle deck ever. All right. Next we have the Fairies Oracle. I believe it's by Brian Froud, something like that. This one I have a couple of complaints about. The cardstock is very thin, so I do find that it's a little bit paper-like, but the backs are very nice. It is a glossy deck, so that would probably be my other complaint. And then the fronts of the cards look like this. And they have the name. That would maybe be another complaint of mine. The names are kind of hard to read. I don't know if it's just me or what, but I find them quite difficult to read. But the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. I know I say that about pretty much every deck that I own, but I do really, really like this. And again, the artwork isn't going to be for everybody. That's what it is for every deck, really. But I love it. I love how weird it is. Like, this guy is just kind of a weirdo, but I love it. Yeah, I've gotten some really great readings from this deck. I just wish that the cardstock wasn't so flimsy, and I think it would shuffle better. if it wasn't. So that is the Fairies Oracle. Oh, talking a lot. Okay, next up, I've got another big deck, the Divine Circus Oracle by Alana Fairchild. This one I love pulling out in that more like spooky season. So that is what the backs look like. This is a very glossy deck. It reminds me a little bit of like the Night Circus or any of those like spooky or circusy kind of things. I love circus themed things. So this one I was really happy to pick up. And then the fronts of the cards look like this. They have the name of the card and the number, so you can find it in the guidebook. And the guidebook is quite in-depth. I do really enjoy the guidebook for this one. And again, the artwork is fantastic. Like, oh, love. Maven of Masks. This card always reminds me of my Nana. I think it kind of looks like her when she was younger. So it's definitely one of my favorites. So happy that I was able to get my hands on a copy of this. I have not edged it yet. I really want to, but I'm just not quite sure what color I want to do. And I think I was also hemming and hawing about trimming down the edges so that it was a little bit easier for me to shuffle, because the cards are very big and they do have a border already. So we'll see if I do that. Maybe I'll film it if I end up modifying it. But that is the Divine Circus Oracle by Alana Fairchild. I'll do the other two big decks that I have. This is the Fairy Forest by Lucy Cavendish. This one I did modify. I didn't trim it down. The backs look like this. I didn't trim it down because I wasn't sure how far to trim it. Because there are a few borders, and I edged it in green. I edged it actually while I was visiting a friend in California, which is where I bought this deck. But yeah, so the fronts of the cards look like this. They have the name of the card, the number, and then some keywords, which I really like. And again, quite a glossy deck. Shapeshifter, what a beautiful image. Golden Unicorn. So this one I like pulling out when I'm doing more like nature-y readings, or when I feel that the person might be connected to the Fae and maybe wouldn't like the artwork in the Fairies Oracle. The Fairy Forest is really good for those types of readings. And the last large deck that I have is the Halloween Oracle, and I was so excited when I got this deck. It's by Stacey DeMarco. And I think I bought this one in California as well. And I did modify it. So I edged it in orange, which I thought was quite fitting. The backs look like this, very glossy. And the fronts of the cards look like this. So they have the name of the card as well, and the keyword or keywords. Actually, I think it's just, yeah, it's just a keyword or a little key phrase. There are no numbers on these cards. I believe the guidebook goes alphabetically. So they're still easy to find in the guidebook. But such beautiful cards. Awesome to pull out for the spooky season, which I am very excited about. And I get quite good readings with this as well. So there's that one. This is another one that I was going back and forth on whether or not to trim it down so that it's easier for me to shuffle, but I decided to edge it, so I didn't. Yeah. So I only have 2 decks left to show you. This one is only really part of the deck. It comes in 3 parts, and I'm sure that you're already guessing what it is. It is the Oracle of Oddities. This is the 2nd edition, I believe. I have not been able to get my hands on the 1st and 3rd. I'm looking into it, but they are expensive to get your hands on now. They are expensive to get your hands on now, though, so I'm not sure that I will actually complete this deck, but it is gorgeous, and it reads so well with the Antique Anatomy Tarot. So I would really love to complete this, and I think she may be creating another version of this, but I'm not 100% sure. But if she is, I will definitely pick that up. So that is the Oracle of Oddities 2nd edition. And then I saved my favorite for last. This is the Oracle of Nightmares. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. There's a little skeleton on the back here. And I'll have all of the decks linked in the description if you can still buy them, where you can buy them. This one was one that I got on Etsy. I edged this in black, and the cards look like this. This is by far one of my favorite Oracle decks. I pull this out for myself all the time. I find that I get such accurate readings with this. And of course, the imagery is quite spooky, but I love that. I also read for my mom with this quite often. She enjoys the spooky things as well, so a lot of the time it'll be the Tarot of Vampires and this Oracle deck when I do readings for her. So yeah, definitely one of my favorites. If you like the spookier things, I would definitely recommend this deck. It is glossy, but it's not that super high shine gloss like the Fairy Forest or the Divine Circus. Those ones are quite a bit more glossy than this, but it's quite easy to take photos of if you're doing that or do videos with. When they're laid flat, they're not too bad if you get the angle right. Super love working with this. My only wish for this is that the deck had more cards in it. That's my only wish. So that's it, guys. That is all of my dark themed Oracle decks. Honestly, I thought there would be more, but I think I don't have a ton of them because I don't find that I can reach for them as often when I'm reading for clients. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you have a good day, week, month, and year. Love and light. Bye.